Hey everybody, I'm Ace and today I'm going to be bringing you 7 tweaks that I think will make Pokemon games better in Generation 7. Now I'm sure you probably think I'm jumping the gun because we've still got things like Pokemon Z to come yet, and there's going to be all the hype for Pokemon Go, and nobody's really thinking of Gen 7 anymore. Like, we know it's going to come eventually, but not for a very, very long time. But that doesn't mean we can't still speculate. Here are my 7 tweaks to make Pokemon better games in Generation 7. I'm going to skip over the first one really quickly because it's one that's been mentioned a billion times. Multiple save files. We've wanted multiple save files for years. One save file is not good enough for any game. Any gamer's experience is kind of spoiled by only being able to save once and not have multiple playthroughs of the game. I get that Game Freak are probably a little bit like, yeah, but if you have multiple save files, you'll be transferring your starter Pokemon from one to the other and then just trading with yourself and then not using the community aspect of Pokemon. But that's not true. We've got Pokemon Bank anyway, so if we wanted to do that, we'll just use Pokemon Bank to transfer between the one save file that we currently have. That's what we do. So you're not really losing anything of the community aspect by giving us multiple save files. It just means we can have like a casual save file, competitive save file. Just give us 2 save files, we'd be quite happy. 3 would be nice because there's always 3 starters, but just, it's not hard, just do it. NPCs should come to us. When you're walking through the forest and the fields, the Pokemon regions, you come across non-playable characters, NPCs, fellow trainers that you can battle. Now these trainers will not come near you. They will not even approach you until you make eye contact with them. It'd be quite an interesting paradigm if some of the trainers, not all of them in a particular area, maybe 30% of them, actually seek you out as soon as you come into the area. And maybe they're slightly faster than you, like by a couple of steps or so that you can kind of avoid them for a while to go pick up items and stuff, but they will eventually catch you up. It'd be really cool because there are supposed to be trainers out there looking for challenges. Some of the NPCs in the game even say, I've been looking for a challenge, or I've been waiting all day for a challenge. Well, if you're that eager for a challenge, why don't you walk up to me when I turn up in the area? Instead of just watching me walk around, pick up a few items, fight a few other trainers. Come fight me, bro. I'll 1v1 you. I'll wreck your Magikarp. I don't even think it'd be that hard to program. Like, they already come towards you when you reach a certain spot, so why don't they just home in on a certain spot that you're on at any given time? It's no biggie, right? Now, a lot of the kids out there are probably going to hate me for this one, but legendary Pokemon in Generation 7. Just cool your jets. Go easy on the number of legendary Pokemon you put into the game. If we think back to Generation 1, we had 3 legendary birds, 1 mythical legendary kind of weird cat thing, and then 1 man-made clone of said weird cat thing. That was our legendaries done. That was it. That was all our folklore and legendary Pokemon in a nutshell. And when Gen 2 came out, we had another legendary trio. We had 2 main legendaries, and then we had Celebi just because it was there. Then Generation 3 came out and things started to get ridiculous. We had a legendary trio. We had another legendary trio. We had a legendary duo. We had Deoxys and we had Jirachi. Gen 4, we have the legendary trio. We have the 3 legendaries from the box art. We have Regigigas, Cresselia, Darkrai, Manaphy, Phione, Heatran, and the god of all Pokemon. What is happening at this point? And then of course we had Gen 5, which had a legendary trio, a legendary trio, a legendary trio, Keldeo, Victini, Genesect, Meloetta. Too much legendary going on. And then finally Gen 6 came out and we could just relax. Finally, we're past the days of oversaturation of legendaries. We finally have just a small group of legendaries. Just Xerneas, Yveltal, and Zygarde, and Hooper, and Diancie, and Volcanion, and Magiana. Really? You almost had it right. Just stop putting so many legendaries in. They're getting to the point where there's just so much lore, it doesn't even, like, the lore contradicts itself and each other and it just makes no sense. They don't feel as prestigious as legendary Pokemon should because there are too many. They're everywhere. Like, they're not legendary anymore. They're as common as a freaking Pichu. Make fewer legendaries, but with better stories, better substance behind them, and don't make them catchable in quick balls. In fact, while we're on the topic of legendary Pokemon, this is the one you're going to fall out with me over. You're going to hate me for it, and just be prepared. Legendary Pokemon shouldn't be catchable, shouldn't be obtainable at all in the game. Now, I know that contradicts the slogan of Pokemon, which is gotta catch 'em all, but hear me out. First of all, they shouldn't be in the Pokedex, full stop, because the Pokedex is a concise, full encyclopedia of all the discovered Pokemon and all of the captured Pokemon and all of their statistics, height and weight and everything like that. Now for me, the legendary Pokemon that should never have been caught, because they're supposed to be legendary Pokemon, they're supposed to be out doing what they need to do to keep the world in order, they shouldn't have ever experienced a time where they're captured in a Pokeball so that scientists can test them and weigh them and measure their height and stuff like that. So the Pokedex should just be restricted to the Pokemon that are actually catchable, that science can actually monitor because we've discovered them, we've caught them, we're able to study them, we're able to breed them and whatnot. Then legendaries should actually be in like a dusty old book in a library, talking about folklore and talking about the mysteries of the different regions. So then you can go in this book, you can read up on the legendaries, and it'll tell you what area it used to reside in and kind of give you an idea of how you can discover these legendary creatures, which are supposed to be the stuff of legend. Then when it comes to going down these almost quest-like routes where you think, oh, that's what that cut bush on Route 19 was for, that actually leads to a secret passageway that will take me to the lair of where Groudon actually lives. Then that gets interesting because you actually have to go on a quest and find a new area. Maybe there'll be previously undiscovered Pokemon in that area that relate to the legendary in question. Then you get to the legendary's like chamber, or its, just its general cave, and in it is the legendary Pokemon, which either is aggressive and then wants to attack you, or is quite a noble Pokemon that wants to test your strength or something like that. Then you battle that Pokemon and you defeat it. Or if it's a Pokemon that really has something important to do, like Arceus, where it kind of like has to maintain the whole world and everything, then you battle it till it's weakened to a point where it kind of surrenders and shows its respect for you, and then maybe gives you a special item or something like that. Then it gives them a bit more mystique because they're Pokemon that can't be captured, and it's suddenly like, this is interesting. I know this Pokemon's special because my Pokeballs just bounce straight off it because it's got some kind of legendary aura to it. I think it'd be a great idea, and it'd kind of mix up Pokemon a little bit, and it'd stop little twats on the battle spot from using Primal Groudon constantly. Yeah, Precipice Blades is great, but it's really boring. I just think legendaries are so watered down now because there are so many, and because some of them are so easy to catch, and because pretty much everybody has them in their PC box sat doing nothing, and also because it doesn't make sense that you can capture the Pokemon that controls space. Surely if you catch Palkia, the entire world and universe will go into complete chaos because there won't be Palkia there to control space and all that jazz. So the universe will just kind of crumble in on itself, and you as a 10-year-old will have destroyed the entire known universe. I just think legendaries should be kept as legendaries. They should be unobtainable, not catchable by a 10-year-old or even an adult. They should be the stuff of legend. They should be tests of your strength and battling ability. This one relates more to when you play Pokemon against people online. We need more arenas. We need more stages, if you like. At the moment, since Pokemon X and Y, or even before that in fact, we've had this same lame arena to fight Pokemon in against our friends. It's always the same. It has the stupid crowd in the background that doesn't even have like animated features or anything like that. It's literally just a crowd of like keyhole shaped people. And it's just a bit boring. It makes everything seem very samey. Like I don't even feel like I'm against different opponents because I'm just in the same place at the same time. And everyone on Battlespot uses the same Pokemon all the time. Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre, Mega Rayquaza, freaking Mewtwo. Boring, but we're talking about the background. Now, programmed into Pokemon X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are several different, arenas, if you like. There's the grass battle scenes, there's the water battle scenes, there's the cave battle scenes, there's the beach battle scenes and stuff like that. And I just think, why can't it be programmed so that we can have a random arena, or even that we can pick what arena we want to battle in, which wouldn't necessarily, maybe the opponent can pick a different one and it won't matter, or one of the players at random gets to pick what arena you're in and you both battle in the same arena. It doesn't really matter. It just needs to happen. It's common sense, like online playability, and you've only got one stage to play on. Come on, Game Freak. Next up, we have one that would be a really easy fix to implement, but would not be very popular with the wider audience. Shiny Pokemon need to be rare. Again, because I get it, right? Back in the day, it was a 1 in 8,000-ish chance of finding a shiny Pokemon just at random in the wild. Then they kind of came up with all these new methods to maybe get shiny Pokemon faster. You've got chain fishing, you've got Masuda method breeding, you've got Pokeradar chaining, you've got DexNav chaining, and especially with the shiny charm and things like that, you can now get yourself down to like a 1 in 1,000 chance of finding a shiny. But here's my point. To those of you who have found random shiny Pokemon in the wild, just encountered a random shiny when you weren't even looking for one, how good did it feel? How incredibly different did it feel? And how amazing amazing did it feel. Like, you were like, oh my god, what the hell? This Machop is brown. Why is this Machop brown? It's normally like a greyish colour. What the hell? This is incredible. What's going on? This is the best thing ever. Now, you see shinies every day on like BattleSpot. You see everybody on Facebook and Twitter that are just like, hey, got this shiny today. Hey, got this shiny today. And I just think, why can't we just have rare shinies again? Like, it almost seems like shinies aren't that special anymore because everyone can get them like pretty easily. I know there are people out there that haven't yet got a shiny and you've tried all the different methods, and I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Just keep trying. I just think it felt more special when you weren't deliberately looking for it. I mean, yeah, I like shiny hunting. Like, I like looking for shinies and I like having the end result of finding one. But I feel like it's almost too easy sometimes, especially with chain fishing. Like, that is ridiculously easy to find a shiny. If you haven't got a shiny yet, get a fishing rod in Gen 6, go out and chain fish. After about 40 hooks, if that, you'll have your shiny fish. Whether it's a Magikarp or a freaking Krabby, you'll have it. I'd really like to see shinies decline in number and become rare again. Have a little bit more, again, that word prestige again. It doesn't seem special anymore. You know when someone's like, hey, check out this shiny I got? And I'm like, yeah, you and like 2 million others, bro. This last one is the most important to me, and I really want it to be a thing. I want Pokemon to evolve during battle. Now, we already have Mega Evolution during battle, so I know this is possible. But how annoying is it when a Pokemon levels up? So for example, your Wartortle levels up to level 36 and you're like, yes, I'm gonna get a Blastoise right after this battle ends. I mean, we've seen it in the anime like 1,000 times where Pokemon get emotional during battle, or they defeat an opponent, or an opponent defeats them, but they've probably leveled up during that time, and suddenly they glow white, they grow, they become this awesome new form, and then they can clean house. Like, why can't we do that? Why can't I be battling, my Wartortle hits level 36, bam, turns white, the camera angle kind of spins around it or whatever, and it's like, what? Wartortle's evolving! And then Wartortle evolves into Blastoise, and then I can kick ass as a Blastoise. That'd be freaking amazing. And it would just make more sense than waiting till the end of the battle until you've like taken, like if you're against the 6th Magikarp guy and you go to level 36 on the first Magikarp, you then have to beat 5 more before your Pokemon evolves. What's that about? Not to mention, if you're a really savvy trainer and you know your Pokemon's about to evolve, how good would it be? Send your Wartortle into battle holding the Blastoise site, it hits level 36, bam, turns white, evolves into Blastoise in a big massive flash of colour and all that jazz, and then, next turn, Mega Evolve it. Amazing! It would be such a fun thing to do. And you could even have it so that your opponent's Pokemon, if they defeat one of yours or something like that, then they evolve during the battle to make it more challenging. That would be really cool. Like, say your rival has a level 35 Charmeleon or something, and then it defeats one of your Pokemon, bam, it evolves into a Charizard, and then you're like, whoa, what is happening? That would be amazing. I really would like Game Freak to do this. It's about time that Pokemon the game and Pokemon the anime started being a little bit more in sync. Not necessarily in the characters or the story, but just in the way the Pokemon world works. That would be nice, a little bit of consistency. But Pokemon evolving during battle is something I've wanted for years, and I'm going to want it until they do it. So Game Freak, you might as well get used to me yammering on about it, because I ain't shutting up. Thanks everybody for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments section what tweaks you'd like Game Freak to make so that Pokemon can be a better game to play and more fun. And of course, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that good stuff. And of course, hit subscribe so you never miss a video from me. I upload them every single day. I'm Ace Trainer Liam, but until next time, keep on training.